This is FARR. FARR stands for Flyktinggruppernas Riksråd. It is an umbrella organization for individuals and groups acting in Sweden. The term umbrella organization describes an organization that provides information, membership support, coordination, advocacy, representation and research, and policy development services for its members. Simply put, an umbrella organization supports and connects different groups and organizations of the same sector. Back to FARR. It sees itself as a national organization for consultation and exchange of experience to strengthen the right of asylum. FARR was established in June 1988 and has been active since. So what does FARR do? FARR does a variety of things. First of all, FARR works with different groups and individuals who are all separately gathering knowledge and experience by working with asylum seekers or are involved with the asylum procedure in Sweden. Aside from that, FARR produces fact materials, organizes courses and campaigns to inform the public and asylum seekers. For example, FARR has a booklet called Good Advice for Asylum Seekers in Sweden, which is 86 pages long and is available to download in 6 languages, such as Swedish, English, Spanish, Arabic, Farsi, and Russian. It informs of the asylum seekers' rights, including the different stages of procedure, how they can influence their own case, specific advice for women, children, people who are or want to be in same-sex relationships, victims of torture or sexual abuse, and contact information of several organizations in Sweden. FARR has a magazine called Article 14, which is published 4 times a year and focuses on a different topic in relation to refugee matters each issue. Besides including discussions by experts on important changes in the asylum policy, the magazine contains texts written by people with experiences of escape and sheds light on aspects that might not get covered elsewhere. To distribute relevant information for asylum seekers and other interested parties, FARR is active on social media, such as Twitter and Facebook, and publishes a newsletter which informs about current changes and events. This newsletter is especially helpful for groups working with asylum seekers, as it recaps important new legislative proposals, information about refugee groups in different countries, the reception and treatment of asylum seekers, and reasons for and against residence permits in different cases. With all of its work, FARR tries to not only inform politicians and authorities about asylum matters, but also tries to influence and steer them into a more humane direction. Who is FARR? Like previously mentioned, there are different member groups which work with asylum seekers in different parts of Sweden. They each engage in social support and networking for youth and adults, asylum seekers and undocumented migrants. They attempt to gather experiences on how the law is interpreted in their area of the country, who is protected or denied protection, and what the consequences are. The members include law firms, more than 30 groups, and several hundred individual members, some of whom are undocumented migrants or asylum seekers themselves. The groups are spread all over Sweden. Some of the locations include Stockholm, Malmö, Örebro, Sundsvall, Gävle, Göteborg. FARR holds an annual meeting, which all members are welcome to attend. It serves to discuss joint operations and finances, but doesn't have any influence on the members' local operations. There is also an election to determine the board members of FARR. Currently, the board consists of 19 people from different parts of Sweden, the chairwoman being Sanna Westin. All work is done on a voluntary basis. The expenses are paid through membership dues and donations. What are FARR's goals? FARR states that it is trying to work toward a more open, generous, and solidary refugee policy while fighting against racism and hostility against foreigners. FARR has published a policy document with 110 demands for humane and solidary refugee policy, stating different requirements FARR's members all agree on. These include changes in the EU border policy toward more mobility and a more just and common reception process that protects every individual's rights. Contrary to the current Swedish asylum procedure, which requires quite a lot of proof to support the asylum seeker's backstory and reason to flee, FARR would like to see the fear of persecution because of their gender, sexual orientation, or religion recognized as a strong proof for the need of protection. Additionally, FARR's members would like the asylum seekers to have the opportunity to clarify misunderstandings in the case of credibility issues. FARR sees its role as supporting those who are working with asylum seekers in Sweden through consulting, training, and representing them. So what do we think? Is FARR's work as an umbrella organization suitable for dealing with asylum issues? FARR fulfills the main tasks that are usually taken on by umbrella organizations, connecting different parts of Sweden, gathering experiences and effectively sharing the obtained information with members. FARR manages to create a joint effort towards a more humane asylum policy in Sweden.